Hello, welcome to another Tuesday Bible sketching. Glad you could make it. I'll explain this in a minute. Just gotta check this. Hello, welcome to. Alright. Get my eyes woken up. Alright. I posted this on my Facebook page, so some of you may have seen this. But I wanted to share this, and I'll share a few more sketches that I've done recently. By the way, hope you're having a good morning. I don't know if I said that already, but always wishing that. This is, I think, a good example of what's a good thing about sketching, a nice thing about sketching. You know those times when you're in a situation where you want to capture it, but maybe you don't have your phone or camera around, and you're like, oh shoot, or you want to enjoy what's happening. I think this happens a lot. You want to enjoy what's happening and not worry about having to take pictures. And so one thing that's really awesome is like just being able to sketch it after the fact. It's sort of like a journal of something that happened. And really you can capture, I think, you can capture more. Even if you're not a great drawer, you can capture more in a drawing than a camera would capture. I guess one other situation like this is you're experiencing something and you take a picture and it doesn't look like what you're seeing. It doesn't capture the feeling or what feel, like why you're liking what you're seeing. And this is why a painting or a drawing is much better at capturing the real world than a camera. Because you can pick up exactly what's going on and add your own emphasis on what you're feeling. So anyway, this was a situation that happened to me last week. I was out. I take breaks while I'm working. My shoulders, I talk about how I start tensing up when I'm drawing, and so I take breaks and go out and shoot some hoops for a little bit. And last week I went out and this deer, I heard this noise and I looked around and didn't see anything, and heard it again, looked around, didn't see it, and then finally noticed it was over by our pear tree, probably 50 feet away from me, and it just stood there and watched me play basketball for like 15 minutes. I told my wife about it later, and she was like, you should have got it out of there. It's eating all the buds for the pears. But I don't know. We never get pears on that tree anyway, and I knew the deer would just come back and get it when we're not around. So anyway, I wanted to capture the situation. I almost ran in and grabbed my phone, and I thought that'll scare him away. And what am I going to capture? This deer over by this tree? I can't get myself in the picture. So this captured much more of what was happening than what I could have ever gotten. And plus, it was cool. I thought it was cool that it was just standing there, and I feel like this sort of captures a bit more of the attention of the deer, of what it was doing, watching me play. So anyway, there's that. Here's a few more sketches. I think I left off there last time. Here's a few little ink sketches from our oldest son's band concert, and I was loosely capturing. I loved the posture of this kid playing the keyboard. In my picture, he looks kind of like an older man, but just loved kind of the slumped over posture, this hand that was just kind of curved when he was playing, kind of the more pointy, long head and nose. This kid was playing a trumpet like a clarinet. His posture was just, I know kids are lazy with how, they don't hold the trumpet up. They just like let it go down, and he was way down on that. These aren't great sketches, but again, just capturing stuff going on. This kid, he was like one of the smallest kids, and he was playing the baritone sax, and it was just huge for him. And yeah, that was just, I know it's nothing special, but another thing that some people really like sketching is just like patterns. You see some scroll work, some ornamentation in the architecture, and the auditorium at the school had this design going around, and I was starting to draw it. I'm not big into that stuff, so but once in a while I just kind of try it just to analyze it. There's a few sketches from our son's soccer game. We had a family gathering this last week, and so we were in a hotel at a pool, and so I was drawing some of the family members. So that's about it for sketching this last week. Okay, what are we gonna draw? I don't have my phone. We need to look at my plant. Planty is not, it's in there, but not enough. I don't have enough props today. Oh, that's my watercolor bag. Where's my... Oh, there we go. Looking for my sketch bag. All my pens and stuff. Okay. Let me clear off texts and other things that are on here. And go to Bible Gateway. Okay, verse of the day coming up. Romans 12:10. I feel like I saw this the other day. On here, be devoted to one another in love, honor one another above yourselves. Let me just refresh that, make sure that's today's. Maybe the date's on there, I don't know. Yep, that's it. I thought this was on here the other day, but okay. I go off of my initial reactions, and I'll be honest with my initial reaction to this one is I'm not that excited to draw this. Just in some ways, I've been thinking about this a lot in the last months or so. I've done different drawings of people working together. I'm sure Bible Gateway kind of does stuff related to things going on in the world, and yeah, let's see. This might be a good time to do this because I'm not getting any great ideas, and usually I will start just going, but I thought I would just try this. I know I have one watcher, so for you one watcher out there, if you have any thoughts on this, please comment them, or I think the person watching may possibly be more of a person to call in, and you are welcome to call in right now. I won't have my phone on the screen so people won't know who you are, and I will take the call, and I won't make it known who you are, but if you would like to comment in or call in with an idea, I will sketch it. I'll begin just sketching my own thing, but if something comes in, I would be happy to sketch your idea. You can keep it general or specific, whatever you like. All right. Let's see, how do you... Thinking of someone with their arm around someone. That's hard to draw. This person's going to look like they have a broken arm. Oh, I'm drawing long sleeves again. It's been cold. Warm weather still has not come to stay. Oh, let's keep going. This guy will go up, over, add another person in. I guess we can sneak this guy's arm in down here. This person, it almost looks like there's a face right here, like an angry duck face. Turn that into some hair before I start looking at it as duck face too much. This is just too cutesy, isn't it? Oh, I forgot to tell you the rest of the story of the deer. So that deer that was in our yard, we're pretty sure we were gone for a couple of days, and we came back and there was a little baby fawn next to our garage, all curled up, all by itself. This was on Sunday, kind of late afternoon, and we weren't sure what to do about it. We were able to find out that you just leave them alone. The mother's going to get some food, and so we left it alone. And it started walking around that night, which was really cool to see. It's amazing it can walk right away after being born. We assume it was born fairly recent, within that day maybe. And then yesterday it was still in our yard, no sign of mother, and we're like, oh no, when is this mother gonna come? And I think in the evening we were at a track meet and we came back and it was gone. And this morning it was still gone, so we're assuming and hoping the mother came to get it. I have just been loving using this water pen with the ink. Just helps to set things off a little bit. They're very cheap. I bought a pack of like maybe a dozen of these, 10 or a dozen of these for like $10 on Amazon. So And they have different brush tips on them, so you can kind of find what you like. But I love them. You could also, we'll just try this. I've got some water and a watercolor brush here. You could just do it with a regular brush. It actually has some more control to it. But look at these guys just working together, and you just think these guys are a team. Down at the bottom here, I'm kind of making it so they sort of fade into nothing. And what that does is that brings importance. Sorry, a little ways here. It helps bring importance to the arms up here. And if we add kind of a little bit of shadowy lines along the arms, that also helps kind of outline those arms, helps you to be drawn, no pun intended. Your attention is brought to these arms being wrapped around each other. Okay. So that's very cutesy. That is not my style. I hate being... it's nice, but it's a bit obvious to me. Oh, let's do some... I mentioned last time I had bought this pack of cardstock, and there's like these different ones in here. Let's do this brown tone. So this is, I think this is pretty cheap too. It was maybe like $5 to $7 for a pack of how many papers? I guess 50. Yeah, because here's the weight. This is 65-pound cardstock, and it came with these different colors. Still nobody chiming in with an idea, so I guess I'll have to wrestle through coming up with my own. Whoa, that seems really dark. Oh, my foot's bumping the camera. What could this be? I know what it is. You don't, though. Well, maybe you can tell that this is a city building. Here's kind of my, what's that called? Vantage point. That's what it's called. So you want to keep your windows kind of going in line from that point, more or less. When you're sketching, it's not quite so important. I'll add a little bit of striping around, and maybe there's some wires and electrical things on top. And that building, I'll say it kind of comes out, and these squiggles maybe are like balconies or different things. I want there to be like, I want you to feel the city life over here. I mentioned different types of things people like to draw. And there seems to be just kind of a handful of general areas. I mean, some people like to draw something real specific like grapes. Someone told me recently they've been loving to draw or paint peppers. And but I know, especially people who are more kind of architect-like engineers, they like it when it makes sense. I like doing these perspective drawings. Try to get some more buildings in there. In the background, you can be a little more sloppy. That's actually, it's kind of too busy back there. There's too much detail. I should have just kind of maybe did an outline of multiple buildings. You want more of your detail in the buildings up front. It helps you to understand that they're up front. See, that kind of gets distracting and makes you want to look back there. So I kind of messed that up. Here's some more thingy-madudes. Looks like I'm writing a word there. Lazow. Hey, H-Z-E. Dave. I don't know if you can see those. You can even do that with the windows, little hidden messages. All right, so we've got the city life. And then we've got small town life. That looks a little big. Gas station. Small towns just have their gas station and maybe their little grocery store. And some trees. No trees in the city. Well, they might have little sprouts along here. We'll give them credit for that. But over here is like forest and... Alright, so what I'm trying to communicate here, it's not necessarily just big city versus small town and like city is all selfish. You know, there's great people in the cities doing great things, being giving and kind and all of that. But I think there is a sense of when you're thinking more selfishly, you're thinking more building up your environment, you're building up your dwelling, your things. You want to store everything for yourself, have everything for yourself. Like, okay, I'll make sure I'm all taken care of. I'll make sure I have plenty of everything. And yeah, it might cost other people to suffer, but let me make sure I take care of myself first, and then I can try to help other people. And so, you know, people kind of build up the big things for themselves So that's sort of what the city is representing. And the small town is kind of left with not knowing what to do, maybe. You're not having as much resources, not having as much. And just imagine if they kind of equalized out, that could create a nice balance and a bit more of that brotherly love. So we'll just put some little highlights on these buildings. So I don't know that that's communicated in here, but again, we're just sketching out ideas. I'm going to try something in this drawing. Isn't that so cool? Excuse me, so cool. That really pops on this page. Let's see, do I have one here? No. To the archives. I can open a drawer. That's a pretty good one. Got some white colored pencil. See if we can add a little bit of glow on here. There's a guy, I don't know how I ended up following him, but on Instagram, he does these drawings on this dark paper, and he gets the most amazing glow. I don't know if he's using a photo effect or what, but he gets these awesome glow effects in his drawings. I'm always amazed by those. Let's just see if I can do it. Maybe there's a... How about this front of this grocery store? So a glow is going to have like a very concentrated center light with sort of a fading out light around it. I think that kind of works. So that, let's do one over here. Maybe there's a doorway over here. Kind of glowing out. But yeah, that guy that I've seen do this, his is like yellow color, so maybe he has like a yellow pen like this. I think that glows, I don't know. I should experiment more with that. Alright. Well, this is a pretty deserted road. Yeah, I'll just leave it. Alright. So even though, you know, I don't feel that satisfied with these drawings, especially connecting with the verse. Let's just review that verse again. Romans 12:10, be devoted to one another in love. Honor one another above yourselves. And, you know, I wasn't necessarily really connecting with that verse this morning. You know, we drew this brotherly love kind of picture. I'm coming back to it. That looks cool. It's neat. And we drew this kind of thinking of the balance. And you know, that what it's doing, it's getting me to think about this concept in different ways, not just reading those words and be like, yep, we should love one another. By sketching, I'm dwelling on it, I'm thinking around it. It's you know, even if I don't like what I draw, if I don't like the concept, it sort of gets me to think, why don't I like this? Why am I kind of put off by this? Not put off, but just not as interested in this idea of brotherly love. And, you know, I guess sort of what's coming to mind is that I feel like there's such a, oh, imbalance, I guess. So in some ways, you know, I think this reflects more closely how I feel, even though it doesn't say it real clearly. So anyway, just trying to let you know, like, these thoughts of sketching, uh, you know, why it's important, why it can really help you to think through things, meditate through things, have more clear thoughts. Um, so anyway, just an encouragement to sketch. And I don't know hardly anybody who sketches. I'm gonna just say that. I don't think my videos are really getting that many people to sketch much at all. And you don't need to feel guilt about it. That's okay, you know. Um, there's lots of things that in the world that we can say, this is really good, everybody should do this. Um, this is just something I really connect with, and I'm sure there are people that can be helped through sketching like this, sketching throughout the day, throughout the week, um, at different events, whatever. So just another push to sketch. So hope you enjoyed today's video. Please leave a comment. Sorry, I'm looking all over because I have so many things. I have my iPad that I can see comments. I have my monitor over here that I can see how my video is looking, and I have 4 lights pointing at me and around me, so just kind of I get distracted by them all. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining in, my one special live watcher today. And anyone else who watches these at a later time, I will be here again next week for Tuesday Bible Sketching. Cue theme song. Ba-da-da-da-da. Tuesday Bible Sketching. Ba-da-da-da-da. Gonna sketch with me. Da-da-da-da-da. Where is the button?